you would have preferred to get the win tonight, but just tell us about the experience. Did you enjoy the format and how this went?
Yeah, I mean, it's great, right? I mean, just anytime you can go out and have fun. Obviously, I would have preferred to have somebody not 3 times my size, but the whole deal is amazing, right? The platform's awesome. The idea is great. I think it's cool to see some of the MMA guys, get in there. And for me, that's what it's about. Me is like I always want to put myself out there. Even my fighting style, in fighting, that's how I've always been. Is like put yourself out there, challenge yourself. Don't worry about what other people are saying. Just attack it, go after it. And I think I was the only coach that competed tonight, so that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? And that's not a shot on any of the other guys, but I don't mind putting myself out there and having fun. Came up short tonight, but man, I had a blast. Obviously, anytime I can do stuff with Fight Pass, it's great.
Yeah, is it daunting when you go out there and see the big guy? I mean, or I'm sure you're used to coming up like grappling big guys.
I don't know if you guys remember the last one, but the last time I ran into Ricardo Evangelista, who's the same, is pretty much the same guy. He's huge. He's 250, 260, and then I run into this dude. Maybe I just need to get an individual match or something next time. I gravitate towards these 6'12" freaking monsters, behemoth men. So I would really like to compete against somebody my own size for once.
Does this give you the itch for any other type of competition, or are you kind of good with where you're at?
For now, I'm good with where I'm at. I mean, I do enjoy competing, but as I've said before, the fighting aspect of things has to come to an end at some point, right? Stuff like this, I'm so grateful for the UFC to put on, because it allows me to continue to compete and I guess scratch that itch, compete with, get in there with my friends, mix it up, still learn, get better, all that stuff. There's a ton of talent today, and I'll be honest, with the jiu-jitsu, with MMA, like if you're good, I know who you are. Local, regional, worldwide, I know who you are. Here, there's guys I never heard of that are just absolute savages, and it's not just here, but all in jiu-jitsu. It's just a different world. And it's growing so fast that I don't think the community can keep up with the talent, So you can get a bunch of guys that nobody knows who they are, and they're just monsters. So I just enjoy competing. I enjoy putting myself out there, getting better. That's what this is all about for me.
And you say it has to come to an end at some point. Like, do you want that moment like we saw like Cowboy and Jessica have last night, or if like you never get something scheduled again, are you completely okay now? Or do you want it to be
the
like
answer's
official?
both.
Yeah.
The answer's both. I don't want to tell you guys I'm retired, because I feel like if the right circumstance or situation was presented in front of me, I would entertain it for sure. There is a part of me that wants to tell you guys, I'm done, and I'm good, because I wanted 3 things out of this whenever I was all done, and that was I wanted to go out on a win, I wanted to be financially free, and I wanted to go out on my own terms, not like the UFC nudging me like, hey, you lost 3 in a row, you got to get out of here. Yeah. Never wanted that. So right now, I'm good. I have all those things, and I feel like if I fight again, I put that at risk. However, the closure of being able to, do what Cowboy did, put your gloves down, I just don't want to do it off of a loss. You know what I mean? So, man, if I never fight again, I'm 100% good. Like, I enjoy it, and I think I have something that 99% of the other UFC guys that retire don't have, and that's I still make the walk almost every weekend now. So that scratches the itch a little bit, and I get to fulfill these other guys their dreams, be a part of their journey, and I'm still in it. You know what I mean? I'm in it more now than I was when I was actually actively competing. So yeah, I mean it's tough. It's a bit mixed bag of emotions on what I want to do, where I want to go, and stuff like that. But this does all come to an end at some point. I'm 36 years old. I've had somewhere between 70 and 80 fights, pro and amateur. It's just win is a good time, and I don't think anybody can ever answer that, and that's the hard part. And I think I'll be 50 and I'll still be having that itch. You know what I mean? I don't think it ever goes away. If you're a competitor, you're a competitor for life. So it's just my desire to do the 8-week camps, and it's just not there anymore. And I don't want to disrespect the game. I'm not going to disrespect the game. I'm not going to disrespect these young kids in the sport, my team, the other fighters on the roster, by putting out a bullshit product of what I'm capable of. I just won't do it.
And last thing for me, you talk about making that walk every weekend. Lots of stuff coming up, but the next pay-per-view is a big one. You'll be making that walk for an interim title fight.
That's right.
Just tell me what your expectations are out of Brandon in his first fight with your team.
Yeah, so we've really worked hard on fixing some just minor things with Brandon that I feel like has gotten him in trouble in the past, and I expect to see a very new and improved Brandon Moreno. I mean, I really do. Obviously, listen, I don't really even put a lot of stock into their first fight. Kai's gotten so much better since they fought. obviously coming off a huge win over Askar, and we gotta take him serious. I'm taking it very serious. I'm 0-2 in title fights so far. One of my life goals is to. I've never said you cannot go back and find an interview with me saying I wanted to be a world champion, but you can find an interview with me saying that I want to coach a world champion. So I'll get my shot, July 30th, and I like odds.
How grateful are you that there is that plan B? Just to circle back to the potential, putting the gloves on the canvas, that you do have coaching, that you have your other endeavors.
Yeah, it's funny because everybody's always said, I've gotten this a lot coming up in the game, and there's you can't have a plan B. You can't. For me, this has always been a part of plan A. So this has never been a deviation from plan A. It's just been the only thing I can say is it happened a little sooner than I thought it would.
Okay.
So I've always wanted to coach. I've been coaching guys for a long time. Just now I'm getting more recognition for it. But yeah, it's always been part of my plan A. It's always been something I wanted to transition to, and I feel like it's an easy transition from fighter to coach, and it kind of happened quick, So I'm very grateful for the opportunity to answer your questions. I'm grateful just to be here. Like I said, I feel like some of the guys retire and they're kind of lost. They don't know what to do. I don't have that, man. I'm here. I'm still here right now. I'm in the Apex now. I was in T-Mobile yesterday. Next week I'll be right back here watching corner 2 people in the car. I still get the fulfillment out of it. So a lot of the guys don't get that. I'm very grateful and fortunate to be able to still get that nice feeling coming in here and being part of it all.
That's great, man. 'Cause you're relevant as a coach, and even as a fighter, there's someone who still says your name, so that has to give you a little pep in your step that you're that relevant.
Yeah, it's I can still compete. I don't. And once again, this all comes to an end at some point, And I don't think there's ever going to be a time where it's like, now's a good time. Maybe now is the time, but is it the best time? And I think it's impossible to answer that as a fighter. You know what I mean? Like with Cerrone, I feel like he's kind of been 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Was that the best time? I don't think so. But it was the time. You know what I mean? And he could have quit a few fights ago, and I don't think anybody would have said anything. He could have done 50, and I don't think anybody would have said anything. But it was his time. He felt it was needed to go then, and. I just don't want to disrespect the game. I love the sport too much to go out and put some bullshit product of myself out. I know what I'm capable of, and I know how good I can be, and I'm not what I once was. I don't recover like I once did. And unless, you guys know, if you guys know me at all, I'm about business, I'm about money too. So money, the right amount of money can talk me into it too. So we'll see. We'll see.
Thank you, Coach.
With this competition being the limit of 750 per team, do you think that you'll take that into consideration as far as your tactic and bring in your own tower guy?
Man, it's just so hard. You never know. You never know what's gonna. You watch even the small guys were good. I don't think the weight is a.
Okay.
It is a thing. It is a thing, but I don't know if you can play it right. You know what I mean? Because we had a big guy. We had Kyle. You know what I mean? He just didn't make it. I feel like if Kyle would have made it past the first guy, I don't feel like he would have gotten subbed. So I think that would have been completely different if Kyle would have subbed the first guy. You know what I mean? And but once again, he went against one of the smaller guys who was an animal. And it's just like, there's so much talent there. I don't know if it's a size thing because some of the best guys out here tonight were smaller.
Right.
So everybody's.
So you think it's just about bringing the best guys and let them compete? You
got to bring the best. I didn't know half the people on this thing, and I was blown away by how good some of these guys were. I'm like, Jesus Christ, some of these guys are amazing. And I'm just like, I don't do jiu-jitsu. I do jiu-jitsu, but I do it for MMA. It's different. It's 100% different. It's like ping pong and tennis. It looks the same, but it's not. The setups are different. The range is different. The speed is different. I can't tell you guys the last time that I practiced passing a closed guard. Why would I need to? I just hit you. It doesn't even make sense. I can't tell you guys. If I get the top half guard in MMA, I'm good. That's where I want to be. I'm just gonna hit you from there. But I got swept from top half guard tonight because you can't do that. And the guy was massive. But you know what I mean? The rules are different. And. It is a game. It's a sport. They're two separate things. MMA Jiu-Jitsu and sport Jiu-Jitsu are very, very different.
Okay. And one last question about the possible retirement whenever it comes. Do you think you'll need a moment then, or could it just possibly be something where time just goes by, you keep coaching, and it just becomes something that just happens?
One day it'll just be a thing where it'll just be too long gone, and I'll just be like, all right, man, Yeah, I don't. That's the struggle. You know, that's the struggle is like, because I don't really have a reason to come back. You know, but I also don't want to give it up either. You know what I mean? And that's people not in my position. They struggle with that because some of these guys haven't set themselves up financially or whatever, so they have to come back. And it's just like, I don't have to come back. I don't need to come back. And there's most of the time I don't want to come back. You know, and I feel like it's in my opinion, it is the toughest sport in the world to be done with because it's the highest highs and it's the lowest of the lows. And it's so cliche to say, but it's the truth, right? This isn't a game. This is the most primitive form of, it's the longest sport on the planet. It's the most, as a male, it is the primitive end of the road. Like, I have more money than you, I'm faster than you, I'm stronger, but I'll beat you up as the end of the line and all that. And it's embarrassing to go out and lose and in front of all your people, but it's amazing to go out and win. So there's a part of, I think, every fighter that doesn't want to give that ability, that chance, that opportunity to say, hey, I can go out here and win this because it's so rare. Like, you're the one, if you've made it to this level, you're the 1% of the 1%, you know? So just to get here, I'm so grateful just to be. I'm not supposed to be here right now. I was born in a trailer park.
Okay, and last question for me. Do you have an ideal match that would be for you, like a location, a fighter, a style? Okay, just retire. Got it.
Thanks, James.
Got it. Thank you, James.